no worries, I'm just starting now. So, let's get started. Hey everyone, just getting started on a breakdown for Sensecap. This is a helium miner for uh, mining helium, HMT. I'm going to take apart the Sensecap that I've had running and working for me. This is basics, what's in the box, so it's just some instructions and basic padding. They come with a USB-C power cable. It's not adaptable, so you can't take it apart. But we're not going to use this in the final build with an enclosure. So today, for this session, I'm just going to show you what's in the box and take apart the Sensecap. So let me clean this up. So this is the only one you can kind of get your hands on these days. It's been working pretty good for me so far, but today I wanted to show you a breakdown. So let me grab some tools and we'll get started. All right, so this is where the antenna would go. I don't know if you can see here, there's an antenna jack for applying antenna, and I think it's RPSMA male, I believe the antenna fitting is for the device, and then this is RPSMA female, I believe, but I'll double check myself and put the notes in later. And then you can see there's USB-C here, there's the Bluetooth button you can hit here to activate Bluetooth and get into diagnostics, Ethernet, and then just some air venting in different areas of the device. This is aluminum on the outside. The front and back panels are plastic. And let's get into it. All right. So there's 2 screws on the back, which I can't get with my regular screwdriver. So we're going to use a micro screwdriver set. I think this one will do. So take these screws off. Put them there. And then this just kind of pops up. It's not the easiest thing to get into, but it is what it is. Okay. Now you can see here, it just kind of pops off, and you can remove this here. If you can see. This is the inside, your antenna, and all the other ports. These are all extra. We're not using any of them, except for the Ethernet. I'm going to take off the front panel also. These are back. Trying to get this to set back in for you. Okay, it's front and back. And you can see some of the more components inside. I'll take this apart. So on the bottom, there are 4 more screws, and these hold the component in. And this whole thing is held together in one piece. Even though it looks like it's 2 different pieces, this is all one piece. So. I guess there's actually 6 screws in here. It's quite a few. I must have put that back pretty hard. Four. 5. Last one. I'm going to hold the device as I take this apart so it doesn't drop and break anything or damage any of the antenna wiring. And just slowly let that down. Okay, and this will just slide out. And you can separate your miner. This is everything that's inside. You can see there's a fan here with a heatsink, which is really nice. Most of the other miners don't have that. There are several different power inputs that we won't use in an audio jack for some reason. I guess it's just what the board that they have. Inside of here, there's also a 64 gigabyte SD drive that is taped in for your firmware probably. And then there is your antenna signal chip. So this is feeding power from here and feeding this side of the board to give antenna power. So you can see what you got here. And that's it. It's not that complicated. There's a lot of extra parts in here, but we won't be using most of them. So I just wanted to show you what this looks like from the inside. There's not too many people that do teardowns. So I'll give you guys a closer look. Let's see what you got. Alright, now I'm going to put this back together and then we'll fit this into our enclosure, which is going to be the next build. So this goes like this. Right back in. Just align this. Take your first screw. Try and get this signed up best you can. And then mount it right back to the mounting poles. This one. And you can see the fan and the heatsink align with these vent holes, so that's nice that it has a place to exhaust some vent, exhaust some heat. Okay, I'll start with the back. And the vent hole lines up with the exhaust of the fan here. So the fan's going to be blowing through the bottom and through the back, through the heatsink. So you want to make sure that you line this properly. And I actually really like the design of the Sensecap. I've had it running for maybe little less than a week now, and it's been operating pretty good. I'm using the Bobcat, the stock Bobcat antenna on this. I was able to get it on the roof until I build my enclosure. So for the most part, it's been a pretty good experience. I mean, there's been some issues with the network, but outside of that, I like this. I like the Sensecap. I would say I like anything that I could use right now because it's really hard to get hold of any helium mining device. All right, that's the Sensecap fully put back together. And I'll show you what the antenna, how that goes together. This part at the bottom should spin here. Mine's pretty stiff, so I'm going to just spin it like this for now. Maybe I could put this straight up. Spin it like that. Find until this part goes up, and then give this a little bit of a snug fit, and that's it. So you have a little bit of movement here. But remember, if this isn't snug enough, don't over tighten it. Just tighten it just enough. But you have some play here. And if this is too loose, you might actually loosen the antenna trying to move this. So just be careful not to over tighten or tighten it too much. Or keep it too loose, sorry. And then it has USB-C power. And then there's a power block. And that's it. That's your Sensecap. And then you would provide Ethernet. You can use Wi-Fi, but I prefer that anyone that's doing this would use Ethernet, and this would power back to your modem, which you'll have to open the port to be able to get access to getting signal in and out. So that's Sensecap. That's the breakdown. The next step we'll be doing is building an enclosure and adding an antenna and some LMR 400 and building the enclosure so we can keep the device outside and get a little bit more height on where we're going to be installing. And this is a Miguel 6 dBi antenna. I got this at phystech.net, and you can get some more there. And I got this cable, which is a really nice cable by, let's see, I have their card here somewhere. MPD Digital. So they make very high quality cables, and I highly recommend them. So can't see it. There you go. All right, I'm going to pause here, and we'll start on the next step, is building a basic enclosure for anyone to set this up outside.